But the aim of today's webinar is not to sort of give you a software demonstration, but just explain culturally how this can be used to help you sell more promotional products. So just imagine the scenario, the phone rings and someone's interested in a promotional product. Now, the idea behind a promotional product is putting a brand on an object. So the best way to sell it is to actually show somebody what they're going to get. So, and often you have a skilled art worker in-house, but really it's not a good use of their time. So we've created a tool that allows the salesperson to create visuals for somebody. Now the first barrier people often say is, oh well, I can't, I haven't got this company's images. So most of you must know this. If you look at the images option on Google search and you type in something, so I've just typed in BT logo, it gives me hundreds of different options. And for about 90% of companies out there, you can get their logo. Now, some large corporates may get protective about this, so it is worth the question. But in essence, the first thing I would be doing when I'm taking an inquiry is saying, okay, what's the name of your company? And I would have Google image search open at that time. And I would get their logo on the spot. And once you've got their logo, you can right-click on it and go Save Image As. So that's the way I would start doing it. So once you've saved images as, if you go into the visualizer tool, you can upload them down the bottom there. And you can see, for the sake of this, I just used an IKEA logo. But you can save images for customers you use all the time. So you could get your art team, if they were regular customers, just to dump all their images in there. So phone rings, somebody's interested, I'm interested in a T-shirt. Now, we all know there's lots of different types of T-shirts, and obviously with T-shirts, hundreds of different print positions, so we can put them, on the sleeve, on the front of the object, etc. So for the sake of this, I'm going to do, and the good thing about our system, it will only let you, so if I try and expand this, and I know this isn't necessarily the case, it will only expand, in this case, within the approved print area for that product. Now, obviously a T-shirt can have multiple print areas, but for the case of this one, we've got it set up so it's a right breast only kind of thing. And then it could be copied to other areas. So, give you an example. If we flipped onto there, we could say, copy that to the right sleeve, and then it will pop the logo on the right sleeve, left side, right side. It would copy that logo onto that sleeve as well. But for the sake of this presentation, I'm not stressing too much about how the tool works. Just really the concept of somebody rings up, you find an image, you add it to the product, and then you save the product. So in this case, let's just call this an IKEA T-shirt. And we have lots of different options in how to save things, how you're presenting it to the client. But if you just use the standard, it will save it. You can ZAE would send it to your iPad, so you could take it to show them. And we have different options, but for the sake of this, I'm really just trying to show you the concept of using the tool. So the next thing you might do is there might be other products, and so this is busy just taking a photograph of this from lots of different angles. And the reason it does that will become clear in a minute, because it gives you lots of different options in how to present things. So let's just take another simple example, like a mug. So in this case now it's going to load a mug. And I always like, in my case, to zoom things in so I can get better detail when sending out to customers. So let's just click on the IKEA logo and let it apply it to that mug. And then the other beauty of our system is it only does the colorways that are available. So maybe in this case we'll keep it as a yellow mug. We could add text and things in like that, but I'm not going to do that for now. And so the idea of this presentation is to show you the concept. So again, it only expands to the print area, and we'll save that one as well. So now I've kind of spoken to the client, I've got their logo, I've added it to a couple of products, and then we can go into what we call the sample manager. Now the idea behind the sample manager is, I guess, fairly self-explanatory for managing your samples. So if we click on the sample manager now, we'll see various different products we've made at different times, and you can have different folders for different customers. And there's the 2 IKEA ones. Now if I click on the top 2 and just select them, and then I go create print sheet, and hopefully you will all agree this process does not take a lot of time, and we'll just say go. And what that now will do is create a print sheet with my brand on it, which is now opened at the bottom of the screen. If we click to open that, so in your case this would have your own brand on it. Spare with a second, my computer whirs into action, and across the top would be your branding, and there's the 2 products. So can you imagine that? The conversation here is within sort of 20 minutes of talking to you, this arrives, say, here's some ideas, and obviously it could be a range of mugs, range of seeds, whatever you want. But what's exciting about this is giving them a quick mock-up of the product. You can write extra text on there, but if you now scan the QR code, it would actually put a 3-dimensional sample onto their mobile device, and if you weren't on a mobile and just want to click 3D link, it would then actually take them to a 3D link of the product. So what you're trying to do is engage your customer, get them excited about what you do, which I think this process does for you. Let us just go back on that to our PDF. So if you can imagine the scenario, someone inquires, this gets emailed through, and they then print it out, look at it on the screen, scan it, start to talk about it in their organization. And this is not meant to be a long-winded webinar. It was really to show you how easy it is and introduce the concept. And the reason I explained this concept to you, we recently won a new client because they lost an order to a customer who had used our software in exactly this way. They said it was so good, and the company that actually lost the order sent a physical sample in the post. They said, well, why didn't you go with us? You know, we sent you a sample. So somebody else sent us this straight away. You know, within minutes, we shared it around the company, and we kind of worked out which product we did. And what this is doing for you, it is taking the conversation away from price. Obviously, there'll always be price shoppers, but it's talking about products. And loads of people that do this will then come back and say, oh, could I have the logo on the back? Could I have my telephone number? And you can do all of that suggestion for them. So this is the creative way to sell promotional products. Why wouldn't you do a visual with every inquiry? It's virtually as quick as an email or a response, and I guarantee it will increase your conversion rate by at least 50%. So thank you for taking the time to look at our software this morning. Hopefully you can see how it can be used, but although we're technology people, it's the appliance of the technology that counts, changing your processes. So hopefully this webinar has given you a little insight in how that might be possible in your business. You can find out more information on our website, gateway3d.com, or obviously we're more than happy to take phone calls from you on 0330 500 1522. So thanks for listening. Have a nice day.